Welcome back to For Love and Justice. Today we are talking about a topic near and dear to my heart, Ms. Taylor Allison Swift. We are going to cover the playlist she made herself back when the Tortured Poets Department album was rolling out. It was part of the promo for that. She made some playlists around the topic of denial, the stages of grief. So there's denial, anger, depression, and acceptance. And when she made these playlists, she put her entire discography on them. She organized them into these little playlists, minus Reputation and debut track lists. The Taylor's versions have not been released for those, so they are not on the playlist. But today I thought it would be fun to sort those out myself and put them in which playlist I think they belong. So let's get into it. So first up, we have I Love You, It's Ruining My Life, which is denial. There are themes here of escapism, hopefulness, and rose-colored glasses. So for Taylor, a lot of this is when she falls. This is the Delulu stage. And I will read, when we go through the categories, I will read what Taylor has said about each of these playlists. But basically it's about ignoring a lot of red flags. So then we have You Don't Get to Tell Me About Sad, which is anger. It has themes of fury, empowerment, rebellion, and sharp edges. The next playlist is Old Habits Die Screaming. That one's depression, longing, grief, numbness, emotional depth. And then we have the playlist I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, which is acceptance. Themes around peace, clarity, growth, and moving on. So debut has 14 tracks, minus Tears on My Guitar pop version. It's the same song, same lyrics, just a little peppier. And then Reputation has 15 tracks. So we're gonna sort these babies. So the first playlist, to go in order of the stages of grief, we have I Love You, It's Ruining My Life, which is about denial and delusion. So Taylor says, this is a list of songs about getting so caught up in the idea of something, but you have a hard time seeing the red flags, possibly resulting in moments of denial and maybe a bit of delusion. Results may vary. So on this playlist, we have songs like I'm Gonna Get You Back, The Bolter, Lavender Haze, Snow on the Beach, Sweet Nothing, Betty, Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer absolutely belongs on this playlist. And I will say I was inspired by the girls at Taylor Watch to do this. I watch their podcast religiously, twice each week, and they decided to kind of go through these playlists and talk about like which songs were surprising, which songs maybe didn't belong there, and it was very interesting. But yeah, I wanted to add these songs on there, so go check that out also. Because it's a great, like, in-depth conversational review of these playlists. So, tracks that belong on here from Reputation and Debut. So from Debut, we have Mary's Song. Full disclosure, I didn't know where to put Mary's Song because it's one of her songs that's not about herself. It's about these neighbors that she grew up with and their love and how pure it is. So most of the relationship songs are in I Love You, It's Ruining My Life, most of the early stages, the evolution. So in denial it goes. It's not really a denial song, but I don't know, where would you put Mary's Song? That one was really hard. Right off the bat. Our song also goes under I Love You, It's Ruining My Life. Stay Beautiful, I put under here. I started to put Stay Beautiful under acceptance, and then I realized she does want him to come back. When you find everything you've looked for, I hope, what is it? When you find everything you've looked for, I hope that life brings you back to my front door. And if it don't, stay beautiful. So either way, she's kind of accepting it, but she still wants him to come back. So it's under Delulu. And the last one we have from Debut is Invisible. her first album is a lot about being on the outside and being invisible and being in love with this guy who doesn't even know she exists. So invisible is definitely like pining for someone and not seeing your own self-worth. So under Delulu it goes. And then we have quite a few from Reputation, because looking back, I mean, this was the introduction of her and Joe. Looking back with hindsight, we also know Maddie was wrapped up in here. But it doesn't really matter who the songs are about. She said before that songs are more about a feeling that you get than a person. It can be a mix of different people, and I'm paraphrasing here. But yeah, so first up we have Ready for It. I wasn't sure where to put this one. I almost put it under acceptance, because it's kind of like, I understand my fame, I understand my role, like, are you gonna join in? This is how it's gonna be. She's kind of accepted her fate, but it's still a little Delulu as far as it's at the beginning of a relationship. You think there's places, you know, places you can hide from the paparazzi, but you don't. They're gonna find you. Like, it's just this very, like, here we go again kind of Delulu. Next up we have Endgame. This was another one. I didn't quite know where to put it, because kind of like Mary's song, it's about the like, not the end of a relationship, but about a relationship that's supposed to last forever. But that in itself, a little Delulu. So then we have Don't Blame Me. That's an obvious one for this playlist. So for Don't Blame Me, she's very much still in the love makes you crazy, and I like that phase, which is one of Taylor Swift's main phases. She's like, yeah, I know I'm crazy and I'm obsessed. What of it? And then Gorgeous is on here as well. Very much pining over someone you just met, ignoring the red flags. So It Goes is on here as well. It's very much about meeting someone, falling in love. I'm so chill, but you make me jealous. Wear you like a necklace. It's giving Delulu. And then we have King of My Heart, which I hate to put in this category because I love that song. I love to think of it as like, yes, you're getting your happily ever after. Your queen has finally met her match. But again, I remember when this song came out and people were like, Taylor, you just met this guy. Maybe don't put him on that big of a pedestal. You know, save your heart. I remember that whole narrative when this album came out. So on Delulu it goes. Taylor thought she found the king of her heart. Thank you, next. And then Dress. Only bought this dress so you could take it off. This was a tough one as well because it is a sexy song. And not every sexy song about love is delusional. But in this one, it still very much sounds like the beginning of a relationship. She says, I don't want you like a best friend. So it's very much giving like he's friend zoned you and you're still living in Delulu land. Okay, next up, You Don't Get to Tell Me About Sad, which is Anger. So here we have 5 songs. It's very obvious when Taylor is angry, but I think there's going to be one here that is a little surprising. So from debut, I have Picture to Burn, Cold as You, and Should Have Said No. And from Reputation, I have I Did Something Bad and Look What You Made Me Do. So obviously Picture to Burn belongs here. That's one of her most classic angry songs, one of my faves. And then Should Have Said No as well. It's about cheating, being cheated on. You're gonna be fucking angry. But the one I thought people might find surprising is Cold as You. I started to put it under depression and then I listened to it again. And disclosure, Cold as You is my first favorite Taylor Swift song. I have many favorites now, of course, over the years as she's produced more music, but Cold as You I played over and over and over again in my bedroom as a teenager. And so I really love that song and I really, really know that song, and it's at its core, it's angry. Especially when you get to the bridge, which is my favorite part. She says, "You never did give a damn thing, honey, but I cried for you. And I know you wouldn't have told nobody if I died for you." And then other lyrics include, "Just walk away, ain't no use defending words that you will never say. And now that I'm sitting here thinking it through, I've never been anywhere cold as you." So you got a little bit of depression, but you still have this underlying tone of anger. And like, I want to love you. I want you to love me right. But you're not. And I'm pissed. And you're cold. You're basically Edward Cullen to me. So then, of course, from Reputation, I did something bad, and look what you made me do. If anything, for the Reputation Taylor's version, we need more angry vault tracks. We need more rebellion. Trump literally just tweeted and was like, "Ever since Taylor Swift spoke out about me, she's not hot anymore," or some shit. Taylor, girl, it's time for Reputation. Please. Please, please, please. Moving on. Don't want to get stuck on Trump, but Old Habits Die Screaming, which is depression. So this actually shocked me. There were only 3 songs from Reputation and Debut that I added to Old Habits Die Screaming. So we have The Outside, Tied Together with a Smile, and A Perfectly Good Heart. And the reason I was surprised was, Taylor Swift, or some of her best songs are the depressive songs, right? And my remembering of Debut, it's very teenage, it's very whimsical, new love, it's exciting, our song, staying up late, sneaking out to go see a boy. There's a lot in there about the beginnings of a relationship, or pining for a crush who doesn't like you back. But then there's also a lot, I thought, that's kind of depression. And kind of, like The Outside, I don't belong, I'm on the outside looking in. And Tied Together with a Smile, but I'm coming undone. So those are her depression ones. There really weren't any from Reputation, which is weird because she had 3 years in between this album and 1989. And she was supposed to come out with her album in 2016, didn't, scrapped it. We don't know what happened with it. Hopefully we're gonna get Karma, the Lost Album, soon. I'm a Karma truther. Let me know in the comments if you are too. Give a shout out. But she went through a lot. The media was horrible to her. Kim Kardashian and Kanye were horrible to her. DJ Calvin Harris and Katy Perry were horrible to her. There was literally a hashtag Taylor Swift is over party. I remember experiencing it in real time and just being like, oh, she's canceled and there's nothing I can do about it because there's no new album to go support. By the way, I have these little earrings. They're tarot cards, but they're cats, and they say justice, for love and justice. They tend to flip over, so I just thought I would turn it around and show you guys. So that was really surprising that there weren't more depression songs. Maybe she's holding them back. Maybe the vault tracks are gonna be fire, like she says. Okay, so the final playlist, we have Am I Allowed to Cry, which is bargaining. Taylor says, this playlist takes you through songs I've written when I was in the bargaining stage. Times when you're trying to make deals with yourself or someone you care about. You're trying to make things better. You're oftentimes feeling really desperate because oftentimes we have a gut intuition that tells us things are not going the way that we hope, which makes us more desperate, which makes us bargain more. So for this playlist, I have Teardrops on My Guitar, the classic. I'm Only Me When I'm With You. Those are the two from Debut. And then from Reputation, I have Call It What You Want, Dancing with Our Hands Tied, and New Year's Day. And these might be controversial picks for bargaining, but Teardrops on My Guitar is pretty obvious. I'm Only Me When I'm With You. This was another one where it was kind of hard to figure out where to put it. But essentially, she's being very codependent with this other person and saying, if you're not around, I don't feel like myself. And I need you here so I can be me. And to me, that's kind of bargaining. Call It What You Want. I have always loathed this song since the second it came out. It was such a weird choice for her, like, second, I don't know if it was technically a single, but she released it before Reputation came out as like, look what you made me do, and then call it what you want, and then I think there was a third one. But I remember thinking it was a really weird choice, and I also remember thinking, oh damn, she's got it bad, and he sounds kind of controlling, and like he doesn't really know what he wants, and so she's just like, call it what you want, like we don't have to put labels on it, but I'm still gonna be here, I'm still gonna wear a necklace with your initial on it or whatever. I want to wear what is that lyric? She want a chain around my neck, chain around my neck, not because you own me. Okay, yeah, I want to wear his initial on a chain around my neck, chain around my neck, not because he owns me, but because he really knows me, which is more than they can say. So this is the depression I was referring to, that she didn't really process, it doesn't seem like. This is where we get Jo being like Taylor's savior, right? She's depressed, she's canceled, everyone hates her. Here comes this guy, this perfect guy who like doesn't care about any of that and makes her feel brand new. And so we don't have to put labels on it, you can call it what you want, and I'm your Daisy. Dancing with Our Hands Tied, this is one where it really seems like she knows there's a time limit on this relationship. There is an expiration date, but she wants to keep dancing anyway. So that's a form of bargaining. And then New Year's Day. This song is one of her, this one and Sweet Nothing can be really confusing because they sound like such sweet, innocent love songs. But there's actually a huge tinge of sadness. And in New Year's Day, she talks about, you know, don't read the last page, but I stay when you're lost and I'm scared and you're turning away. I want your midnights, but I'll be cleaning up bottles with you on New Year's Day. So again, we have Taylor loves to do this where you can kind of tell how she's feeling, because even though it's like, I'm so in love and I love you so much, there's also this theme of like, don't leave me. I'm scared. Please don't leave me. And that's bargaining, babes. Okay, and finally for the last playlist, this is also a short playlist. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, Acceptance. So this is about accepting the things we can't change, right? This is the final stage of grief, when you've accepted your fate and you're gonna live your life anyway, even if it's not what you wanted. So we have Tim McGraw, because when she sings in Tim McGraw, it's almost from a place of reflection, like the relationship has long been over and she's older and just thinking about it, thinking back. When you think Tim McGraw, think of me. It's kind of, she's made her peace with it. You know, it's like the relationship's over, but as long as you think of me when you hear Tim McGraw, I'll be okay. And then A Place in This World, and then This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. I love This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. And even though, so Taylor's very tongue-in-cheek and very snarky in this song, you would think like, oh, she's being petty, she's not over it. And I think you can accept something without being fully, you know, you can still be tongue-in-cheek about it. I always say, how am I going to get through something if I don't laugh about it? I have to laugh through it. Because yeah, here's a toast to my real friends. They don't care about the he said, she said. And here's to my baby. He ain't reading what they call me lately. And here's to my mama. Had to listen to all this drama. And here's to you, because forgiveness is a nice thing to do. Ha ha ha. I can't even say it with a straight face. So she's kind of accepting here, like, I am a petty person. I'm not going to let it go. And it is what it is. Like, I don't have to forgive you. And that in itself is a form of acceptance. Accepting your shadow self. I am a petty bitch, and I'm going to write a song about it. And this is why we love Taylor. Okay, guys, that's the show. I would love to see your picks. If you've disagreed with me, if you want to move things around, drop a comment below, and please tell me where you would put the songs in Taylor's playlist. And if you enjoy episodes like this, lyrical, nerdy, and full of feelings, make sure you're following the pod. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere. If you want to dig even deeper with me, you can sign up for my newsletter. And if you want to join the conversation, please join my Facebook group of the same name for love and justice. And hope y'all have a good day. Bye.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.